Hi dreamers and make-believers, in today's video I'm doing the Disney book tag. So I'm doing this tag because I found it. It was created by Katytastic. I'll link her original tag below, and it involves Disney, which I love, and it involves books, which I love, so it seemed like a no-brainer. Now let me explain my hair. So I originally wanted to have the, the Mickey Mouse ears that, symbolize Disney, which I really thought I had, but after searching and 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 searching, I realized I don't. So hence the hair that I've put together to give a Mickey Mouse resemblancy feel for the Disney tag video, because when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So my hair is lemonade, basically. So the first question is The Little Mermaid, and it says, a character who is out of their element, a fish out of water. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing. So for this question, I chose Leia from An Ember in the Ashes. So Leia is an ordinary girl who lives with her brother and grandparents, I believe it is, and her brother gets caught up in some sort of resistance stuff, and he basically gets arrested for treason by some very, very bad people. And so to save him, Leia goes on an adventure, and she enters an institute of the enemy territory, basically, and she goes and becomes a slave in this institute, and she doesn't know what to expect, she doesn't know what's going on, she experiences a lot of stuff that she could not really truly prepare for. She is completely out of her element, and she is definitely a fish out of water, and she stands out a bit as well from the way she walks. It kind of says it and stuff, and she's just, yeah, she's awesome, but yeah, she's definitely out of her element when she enters this institute and becomes a slave, an undercover spy slave to save her brother. The second tag is Cinderella. Cinderella, Cinderella, and it says a character who undergoes a major transformation. So one character specifically comes to mind because it's like a full body transformation, and I'm actually reading the third and final book in the trilogy right now, and that is Darrow of the Red Rising trilogy. So he is a Red. So Red Rising takes place in space, more specifically Mars, although it does definitely expand as the trilogy expands. But it starts off in Mars, and he is a Helldiver, which is this awesome kind of construction worker. He's at the bottom of the food chain in the world of gold. So golds are the Hercules people, and he is the beetle people. So he to avenge his wife and to kind of make a change to society and this hierarchy of reds and golds and those grays and pinks and all this stuff, he infiltrates the golds by going through a emotional, physical, full-on transformation to become a gold and to blend in with their world and to hide amongst them so that he can eventually take them out. A pretty apple for a pretty girl. The third question is Snow White, a book with an eclectic cast. Now I was pretty torn because one was bing, and immediately came to mind, and then I was kind of but these ones I feel like I know so deeply to the core of their soul. So I really struggled to decide between two in particular, so I'm going to show you both. So the one that originally just popped into my mind, we're excluding Harry Potter here, was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, or more specifically, the Mortal Instruments Saga. So this book series in general just has such a wide variety of characters and all the points of views. You get the werewolves, you get the vampires, you get the shadow hunters. I mean, this has just got everybody in it, and the cast is just incredible, and you get to see a little insight into all of their worlds and everything that's going on in their lives. So I would say that, definitely the Mortal Instruments has an eclectic cast, and it definitely popped to mind when I had to think of one. But then the one that as I reached for City of Bones that made me go, but hey, over here. And I was like, oh, actually, So I couldn't decide is Six of Crows. Now this one has 6 crows and they are incredible. So the crows is a group of people and there's 6 of them, and you get like you really get an insight into who each of these 6 characters are. So it's not as many characters as the Mortal Instruments saga, but my God, the characters that you do get to know, you get to know. Like, you know them down to the depths of their very core. So you see their history, you see their present, you see their future dreams, you really know them. You start to know what they're gonna say before they say it, because that's so them, and you start to get their sense of humor, and you start to just, there's just so many incredible deep characters in the Six of Crows duology, and I loved every single character, and just it deserves a shout out in this tag of eclectic cast. So I couldn't decide, so for that one I chose 2. So the 4th tag is Sleeping Beauty, more specifically a book that made you fall asleep. My Sleeping Beauty book was The Shadow of Tear by Glenda Lark. So this is the second to Heart of the Mirage. Heart of the Mirage I really enjoyed. It's captivating, it's got some secrets, it's got some hidden intrigues, and people with powers, and discovering who you are, and cockabons in your palm, which are like power gems, and it was very interesting. But then Shadow of Tear is the second in this trilogy, and I just couldn't get through it because I started to find it incredibly boring and slow, and it like skipped ahead a few years, so there was a lot of characters that I didn't know nor care about, and then the characters that you did come to love and care about are long forgotten, and you have no guarantee that they're ever going to meet again, and you don't care enough about the new characters to care about the story anymore. So I mean, I like to say that one day I'm going to finish it just out of curiosity's sake, but then I have so many books on my TBR, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get to Shadow of Tear without falling asleep. Number 5 is The Lion King, and it says a character who had something traumatic happen to them in childhood. Now this is a very popular trope in YA. I actually use it in my own YA fantasy book, At Water's Edge, so you know, it's definitely in there. It's just normal to have something traumatic happen in the childhood to explain why they are the way they are that day. So for this one, I chose Throne of Glass, which I think many people would. So not to spoil it, but it's about Selena Sordothian, who is a 17-year-old assassin. And it starts out with her in a place called Endovia, which is like a slave camp because she's been arrested for crimes against the kingdom. Assassin. So, and it starts out with her being summoned by the prince of the kingdom to come out and fight for the king, who she obviously hates because that's why she's in jail. And throughout the course of the story and the series, you learn more about her past and why she is the way she is and how she ends up being a 17-year-old assassin. So definitely had a traumatic past, but of course you'll have to read it to find out what. Number 6 is Beauty and the Beast, and it says a beast of a book, brackets a big book, that you were intimidated by but found the story to be beautiful. For this one, I was a little torn. So there is a beast of a book, like it is huge in size, and when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's huge. But I never hesitated about reading it. I was not so much intimidated about it, I was more just intrigued and excited about it, and that is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now this is definitely a beast of a book. I'm not sure, let me just see how many pages this book is. It is 766 glorious pages of the Harry Potter verse, and it was just delicious. But basically, it was pretty intimidating based on its size, but I mean, it was Harry Potter, so I wasn't, you know, I didn't care how long it was. I was going to read it, and it was absolutely beautiful on the inside, but a beast on the outside. But for this category, I have two, again, because this is a book that I think is a bit of a beast as well, and it intimidates me slightly, and I haven't read it yet because it looks like beastie, but I think it's going to be beautiful on the inside, and that is Outlander, so by Diana Gabaldon. So I have just heard such great things about Outlander, and of course there's a series on it now, which I haven't watched because I don't want to watch the series unless I read the book, but I don't know when I'm going to get to the book, but I am going to get to the book. Now, it doesn't look as intimidating as Order of the Phoenix, but it's actually longer because the text is smaller, and it is actually 863 pages. So I'm just like, when am I going to get to read 863 pages when there are so many other books that I also want to read? Where will I find the time? But I am going to find the time because it looks really, really good. And I feel like Outlander is definitely going to be a beast on the outside, but a beauty in the end. So number 7 is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or worse. Now, this actually took me a while to think of someone that would suit it, but I've narrowed it down to Allegiant by Veronica Roth, which is the third in the Divergent saga. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically the main character, Tris Pryor, has a wish to, you know, a task that she wishes to accomplish, and that wish comes true, but for better or worse. Number 8 is Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something they are not. Now, for this one, I originally thought Red Rising, but then of course I used that for number 2, so I went with another red one, and that is Red Queen. So in Red Queen, Mare Barrow is a red, so in Red Queen there's reds and silvers, and it's based on the color of their blood, and Mare Barrow is like me and you, and she has red blood, and then there's the silvers who have silver blood, and they have awesome, like, supernatural powers. But as the story unfolds, Mare ends up working in a place she didn't expect to work at, and discovers that she has silver abilities. So then, to stop the society from finding out that reds can have silver supernatural capabilities, they make her pretend to be a silver. So she is a red pretending to be a silver, so that the society won't find out that reds can also have some kind of gene that makes them also pretty freaking epic. Number 9 is Toy Story, a book with characters you wish would come to life. A court of mist and fury. I want absolutely everybody in the Night Court from A Court of Mist and Fury to come to life now. And the 10th and final one is Disney Descendants, and that is your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. Now, this one, I got 2. Again. So now, there's the all-time favorite one who has to get a shout out in this, but I think he would be many people's favorite, so it's unfair to just give him the shout out, but he's getting one because I love him. This guy, the Dark Lord. Now, I don't think Voldemort needs explaining. He is just epic. He is from the Harry Potter world, and that is all. Now, the other villain that I actually really liked and actually cried when things didn't go their way, which is weird because he's a villain. The Darkling from the Grisha trilogy, Siege and Storm, Shadow and Bone, Ruin and Rising. Shadow and Bone is the first one. I just love him. I love him, and I felt pain for him when he felt pain. He is a really good villain. And that is all. Those are all the awesome questions in this incredible tag. So until next time, I'll see you. Bye!